Girls, what the heck? Way to go. Are you kidding me? You are in the state championship. I'm so incredibly proud of you. It's not unbelievable to me. I totally believe it. This is exactly what kind of team you are. You are a state finalist, state championship quality team. And here you are. And guess what I believe about you? You can be state champions. So I was thinking back about one of the huddles that we had in early January. It was January 6th. Remember we were in the media center. And I started off by asking you this question. How do you prepare for a game? And remember, we had all kinds of answers. It was like different superstitions that people have, or different music they like to listen to, or starting the day before, like what time they go to bed, and then what they eat for breakfast, and maybe, it was just all kinds of things. What socks you wear, and all the different things that we do, right, to sort of prepare. Is there a song that you listen to, or how do you get pumped up? How do you get in the zone? Okay, so I remember that was the question that I asked, and then we went on, and I'm going to get to the verses that we looked at here in a second. But my question for you is, how do you prepare for a state final game, right? Because as much as, your parents or probably even Coach Jones or whatever is going to tell you, like, this is just another game. Treat it like any other game. I'm going to let you in on a secret, but this is not just any other game. This is the state championship, okay? So how do you prepare for the state championship? Well, I think it's keeping in mind that your nerves are going to be there. So I want you to just start right here, right now, as part of this huddle. I want you to just pause. And I want you to take a really deep breath, as big as you can possibly get. And then I want you to let it out. And I want you to do it again. Breathe in, and I want you to breathe out. How do you prepare? Because I don't know who you're playing. I have no idea. Maybe it's Glenwood on the other side because they were the top seed. Maybe they made it. Good for them. Maybe it's somebody else. We have no idea. My guess is that it's a team you probably haven't played before, at least played this year. So it's maybe kind of hard to know how to prepare. But here's what you can count on. If they're in the state championship, just like you, they're good. Everybody's good at this point. Every team that made it to state, all 8, they're good. So you're going to meet a good team. But so are you. So you're probably coming off of a high of last game, especially if it was Ballard and you beat them and that's been the goal. And it's very exciting. It would be so easy in this moment to just be like, we did it, and have that be the end. But you guys, you're in the state championship. Don't let the emotions of the week, the tiredness of the week, the emotional high, and then inevitable, you have to have a moment where you kind of regroup again, coming off of the last game, keep you from preparing and being ready and being excited for this next game, right? So again, take a deep breath, in and out. Because yes, guess what? The game that you just played, it's done. It's over. It's already happened. You already won. You're already here. It's done. There's nothing that you can do now about any of that. The only thing that you can do is look forward to this game, is to be greater than you were even last game. And that might be hard to believe. You're like, oh my gosh, we just won in the semifinals. Yeah. What would it be like to be even greater? What would it be like to win in the finals, to be the 2021 Iowa Girls State Championship basketball team? That's what we're going for, right? Why not? Why would we not? Because you guys have made it this far. You have put in months of practice, hours upon hours of practice and weights and film, of mind candy with Coach Jones, of huddles with me, of time spent together. You have put in so much time. Why at this point would you not just put everything you can into it for 32 minutes? Okay, so here's where I'm going to remind you of a few things as you're preparing, some reminders that might be helpful for you as you're thinking ahead to this next game. And it comes from that chapel, that huddle that we did back in January, where I asked you, how do you prepare? What does it look like for you to prepare? Now, maybe it's changed for you a little bit as the season's gone on. You've fine-tuned your preparations. So you think about it, how do you prepare or whatever? These were the verses that we looked at in thinking about a game and how do we prepare and what do we need to be reminding ourselves, what are we telling ourselves in our minds and our hearts, what are we reminding? And it comes from Deuteronomy chapter 20. So Deuteronomy is back in the Old Testament. You can see I'm like way at the beginning of my Bible. And it comes from the Old Testament, and they were getting ready to go for war. I probably explained this last time, but just a refresher. They're going into war, and this is what the verses say. I'm going to read all of them, and then we'll break it out. And I think you're going to remember some of these things from when we talked in January. All right, Deuteronomy 20, 1 through 4. It says, when you go out to fight your enemies, all right, you guys are preparing, right? When you're preparing for battle. And it says, and you face horses and chariots and an army greater than your own. If you're playing Glenwood, they were the number 1 seed. On paper, they are an army greater than you. But it says, reminds you, when you're getting ready to do that, do not be afraid. The Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, is with you. God is with you. When you prepare for battle, the priest must come forward to speak to the troops. He will say to them, listen to me, all you men of Israel. Do not be afraid as you go out to fight your enemies today. Do not lose heart or panic or tremble before them, for the Lord your God is going with you. He will fight for you against your enemies, and he will give you victory. All right, so we're going to break this down just like we did back in January, because this is what I want you to remember as you're going in and preparing to play in the state championship. Do not be afraid. That's what Deuteronomy's reminded. It says, when you're going in and you're facing an army greater than your own, do not be afraid. I know what that's going to feel like for you guys. It's going to feel like nerves. It's going to feel like you're going to feel sick to your stomach. You're going to just feel like, I don't know if we can do this. Do we have what it takes? There's going to be whispers in your ear that maybe you don't. Maybe it feels like pressure. Whatever it is, do not be afraid. And now why? Can you just be like, okay, thanks, Christine. I won't then turn it off, right? Here's why you don't need to be afraid. It's the second part. Because it says, the Lord your God is with you. God is with you, guys. God has been with you in and out throughout the season. He's been leading you and guiding you and comforting you and caring for you and cheering you on. And just like me, and just like your parents, just like your coaches, God is with you. And you might be like, well, you know, like, what? I mean, I have to go out there and do the work. I have to be out there on the court by myself. Yeah, but you have your team with you. You have God with you. You have your family and your friends. They might be up in the stands yelling their heads off like crazy people, but they've been with you all along. I'm going to be with you because I've made it back. You've made it to the state finals just like I needed you to so that I could be home from my vacation to enjoy it. But God, most importantly, God is with you. And that's true in your life, no matter where you go, whether it's going out, stepping onto the court at Wells Fargo for the state final, or into a job interview, or taking an adventure in your life, no matter where you go, whatever you're facing, whether it's a high, like this is exciting, or one of the most devastating moments of your life, God is with you. And then he says, prepare. And this you guys have done in spades. You are ready for this game. Like I've said in previous huddles, you are more ready today than you have been. You're peaking at just the right time. Now's the time to come. But I want you to think about the ways you've prepared. I want you to think back to that first basketball coach that you have. Can you remember? Who was it? Maybe it was probably just a parent. Maybe it was your own parent. That first basketball coach that you had, and they taught you how to dribble, and they taught you how to pass, and they tried to tell you how to defend, but, you know, mostly it just looks like herds of cats and, you know, everybody just running around after the ball. From that point on, you have been preparing, and you're ready. And all those people, all those coaches in your life are so proud of you. So it says, so don't lose heart or panic or tremble before them. Then you get into that moment, and there's going to be moments. I'm just going to tell you right now, there is going to be moments in this game that you're going to be tempted to panic, that you're going to be tempted to lose heart or tremble because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if we have what it takes. Oh my gosh, this looks bad. Maybe you get down. Maybe they're making everything. Maybe you're missing everything. Maybe there's a turnover that happens or a mistake that you make. It doesn't matter what it is. There's going to be moments that just happens. It's in the up and down the flow of a game. There's going to be moments where you feel like, and you're tempted to panic or tremble or lose heart. But don't. Because God is with you and because you're not in this alone. There will be 5 people on the court. You and 4 other people are going to be on that court, and you're going to have a whole bench of people who are behind you. You're going to have a whole crowd of people who are behind you. So you don't need to tremble or lose heart. This is where you go back to your preparation. What do I know how to do? I can play insane, suffocating defense. I can look for my teammates open under the basket. I can shoot I can rebound. I can go after that loose ball. These are all things that you can do. So you don't need to lose heart or tremble or panic. You just play your best. And know, at the end, it says, he is with you. He will fight for you. This is the assurance that we have all the time, is that God is on our side. And he's fighting for us. And he's fighting battles all around us that we don't even know. But we get to be his children. We get to be his daughters. We have this God, this dad, this person who loves us so much and who fights on behalf of us. So we get to know that as we prepare, that's our part. Then we go play with our heart. So we don't lose heart, panic, or trouble. You guys have hearts of Mustangs. You have done what it takes to be greater than the day before, than the week before, than the month before, than the regular season, than the postseason, and now here you are. There's no reason not to give everything that you have for 32 minutes, to have no regrets, to leave nothing on the floor, to know at the end of the day that you gave everything that you had, and you would soak it up and enjoy, win or lose, knowing that you gave it your all, and that you have a God who's fighting right beside you, for you. And you have a person like me, and you have parents and coaches and people in this community who believe in you, who love you, who are going to be there to give you a high five or give you a hug. It doesn't matter, because we love you and we believe with you, in you, win or lose. But might as well go give it your best shot, right? How about let's go win this thing? Be greater, girls. Greater than you ever have been before. There's nothing to lose. And I believe in you. I'm fighting for you. I'm praying for you. I'll be cheering you on. And I know that God loves you. So soak that up and know that when you walk on the floor, how you prepare is that you let God's love soak you up and give you strength. And he will be with you. Okay? I believe in you. Go for it. Go Mustangs.